Hi there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of UBRIK Education Marketing Series. Yeah, today we have a very interesting episode for you guys. What we did a couple of weeks back was we did a survey to 57 parents and students who are looking to choose a university for their undergraduate and their post graduation programs. Yeah. And we've gotten extremely interesting feedback for you guys. This is going to be a delight for marketing and admissions professionals. So over to you, Sujeevan, to discuss the very first feedback of this survey.
Hey Ashwin, thank you so much and really good to see you today. And we have, as you said, an interesting discussion today. So let me quickly go ahead and share my screen so that we cut to the chase and get to the results. So the very first question that we asked our audience, as Ashwin mentioned in the survey, is how did you first hear about the universities that you're considering? So it's something that we call the first interaction touch point. And there are some brilliant insights that we can get out of the results that we have on the screen. So you will see that almost 44% of the people that we surveyed said that they heard about it through word of mouth. Yeah.
Boom.
So this aspect of community is still a big driving factor when it comes to the decision of considering a university. And also, Ashwin, on top of that, you would see that nearly 35% of the respondents had said that they heard about the university through digital channels, right? Almost 19.3% from Google search, and then again 14% from social media, which is another key trend that we will discuss about. And also, about 7% of them said that they actually heard about the university from college fairs or physical events. So, these results actually validate whatever the universities are doing and the ideal channels that universities need to consider when their marketing strategy. So Ashwin, what is your thought about it?
Beautiful. So, for me, first touch point is very critical. Every university needs to understand this data so that they know where to invest their money in. But at the end of the day, first touch point is not going to also give us a lot of information because today's age is omni-channel, right? Where
Exactly.
multiple channels, multiple mediums contribute to an enrollment. But it's important to understand where all of this is coming from. Where is this starting? Where is this source like? If you remember, Sujeevan, I think most websites today, when you fill a form, they have where did you hear about us? Yeah.
Exactly.
So that so brands are actively trying to collect this information so that they're able to understand how they can do better. That being said, Sujeevan, let's get into the results here. So you mentioned 44, roughly 44% word of mouth.
Word of
Yeah.
mouth.
I think that's very interesting because let's take I'm a student
Mhm.
studying in a school. I have a
Mhm.
society around me, my friends, my family, their family, influencing me in my decision to consider a university. I'm a working
Definitely.
professional. I'm in a company. I have friends, colleagues who also influence me in my choice of a university. So the society around me plays a very big role in this influencing decision. So I think it's high time that universities, I'm not saying they don't capture it already, but I don't see most universities having a referral engine in place. What do you think about this idea of a referral engine?
Ashwin, I think we couldn't agree more because look at this statistic, 44% coming through referral, which means
Hmm.
now is a referral an activity that has to be one off, which
Hmm.
some of the universities are still adopting a one-off mechanism where you run a referral campaign maybe 3 months before your intake, or do you need to look at referral as a long-term strategy? For example, how can I nurture my alumni to form a strong community that it becomes one of the key drivers for my university? Now, for example, we have a client, a higher education institution, which drives almost 35% of its enrollments through the alumni network. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if leveraged in the right way, definitely your referral engine can become a big hitter in terms of your
True.
enrollment.
True. Some universities have a student. ambassador program. Some universities have, like you said, do a lot of one-hour activities. Some universities have an Amazon gift voucher. I think this can be much bigger. I think this can be,
100%.
and remember, somebody who's studying in the university can also refer, not just alumni. So it's important to keep them happy and get like a feedback score, like how you download an app and Android asks you after you play a level, like when you're satisfied, it asks you, are you happy with this? Go rate us in the
Exactly.
app store. Similarly, it's important to understand at which touch point to ask this referral. Don't just send
100%.
everybody. If you send it to everybody, most people are going to disregard. Send it to
Exactly.
students who are actually happy so that they're able to pass and move ahead. All right. Beautiful.
100%.
Word of mouth,
100%.
great. The next
Great.
aspect that you mentioned is 35% digital, especially I see ads here. So could you double
Mhm.
emphasize on that a little bit, Sujeevan?
So basically, we have seen right after COVID, there's been a huge way in the way we market to students or parents. COVID has actually helped us leapfrog in terms of driving digital interactions. I'm
Yes,
sure you would
yes,
agree
yes.
with me on that. So, after COVID, especially, we see that the trend is that a lot of higher education institutions have started adopting digital as one of their primary modes of communicating and bringing in enrollments, right?
Fantastic.
But unfortunately, we still see a lot of higher education brands use digital as in a manner that it is not a complete strategy. And I
Mm,
think you use the word omni-channel, right? So I think that is the perfect way to push this. So you need to
mm.
have a complete omni-channel strategy, which means all your digital touch points, and you look at this entire digital ecosystem and have a comprehensive strategy to build awareness, drive consideration, and of course purchase towards the end of the funnel. So digital has to have a separate funnel on its own. That is the takeaway or the understanding that I have. So I'm sure you
Brilliant.
would also agree on
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. I have nothing to add. You're right. Digital, social media, Google search, big role. Be active on these platforms. Reach out to your audience. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
One more perspective is a lot of these universities, most universities are part of big events.
Mhm.
UAE loves events.
Yeah,
Universities are part of these events. I have
exactly.
seen some universities just be part of these events because they have a big FOMO, that
Exactly.
they fear that they're missing out on not being part of it because they see other brands being part of events. So
Exactly.
what do you think is that one key takeaway to understand whether events will help the university?
So events is something that we've been discussing quite a while within UBRIK itself, because we see a lot of our clients also spending big money on exhibitions. But after this survey, it is double validating, is exhibition or a physical event giving you the kind of ROI that you would be getting in other platforms. So basically, we are not saying that exhibitions need not to be tried out. Definitely it can be a great way for you to kind of test and understand whether there is kind of traction for your brand, but it has to be something that has to be tried and tested, but also decided whether this is actually ROI positive, whether exhibitions is driving enrollments for you. Compare, because exhibitions actually are going to cost you a lot of money,
Yeah,
yeah, in one go.
yeah,
So is it actually giving you that kind of ROI is the question that you need to ask yourself.
beautiful.
So I think that
So
is the takeaway from this survey as well. So
gotcha.
you got to rethink your strategy.
Gotcha. Loud and clear. Evaluate. If it works, do it. If it doesn't, move ahead.
Exactly.
So, Jimin, I also know that you have a sneak peek. You have an example that you want to show us about one of the universities that's doing a great job with this whole first interaction ecosystem. So, why don't you go ahead?
Absolutely, Ashwin. So we are going to discuss an example of the University of Wollongong in Dubai. So all of you might be knowing University of Wollongong. I don't want to get into any more details, but let us quickly understand how they actually making sure that their first interaction point is driven through the digital ecosystem. So let us also look at Google Ads, for example. You would see that they are predominantly running campaigns throughout the year, not just before your intake, to ensure that your brand becomes visible, especially in the student's journey, which actually starts way ahead of time, at least 12 months before the actual enrollment is. So you will see they have very specific CTAs around scholarships, Ashwin. This is something that you should note. right, around scholarships. And also apart from that, driving things like open days is something that they are predominantly doing across Google. So now look at Google as one ecosystem, and then let's move on to Facebook. And on Facebook also, you will see that they are again promoting this open day. So you will see how across multiple platforms, University of Wollongong is doing this job of promoting awareness across their prospective students. Ashwin, any questions so far?
There is search where people they're running ads on search. Anybody searches for a problem, they're out there. Then there is social media, be it Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. They're running scholarships, open day, program specific campaigns, early stage campaigns, and trying to build conversations with students loud and clear.
100%. 100%.
Thanks a lot for those examples, Sujeevan.
No
And
problem.
I know this survey has been very interesting. And I know that we have 7 to 8 other survey responses as well. So
Exactly.
I think this is going to be a series of videos that we're going to do. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Ashwin.